Biro, Minister of International Relations and Francophonie, and Minister in charge of Women's Affairs. Luc Raguet, member of the Executive Committee of the City of Montreal, in charge of economic development. Mr. Stéphane Paquette, President Director General International, and Maimouna Mohamed Sherif,
UN Habitat. Les représentants des médias pourront poser leurs questions.
Media representatives will ask their questions at the end of this event. So without further ado, Pascal Saint-Onge, Minister of Sports, Minister of Economic Development Canada for the regions of Quebec. Hello everyone. Thanks a lot, France, for this very nice introduction. I'm happy to address you today as Minister in charge of Economic Development for the regions of Quebec, while Montreal is hosting here COP15. While COP15 is examining how we can preserve biodiversity and hold the biodiversity loss, we realize here that we are discussing a very related issue, the sustainable development of urban areas. I'm very happy to announce today that we'll receive here at Montreal a global international organization that is working hard on sustainable solutions for the cities, UN Habitat, and they will have an office here in the country at Montreal. The government has suggested a $4.3 billion envelope to support them.
Solutions that will contribute to making cities greener, more resilient, and also sustainable. This mandate is in line with our government's objectives of protecting biodiversity, sustainable economic development, the fight against climate change, and it is also particularly relevant during the COP15. Plus spécifiquement, le Bureau d'ONU Habitat va se concentrer.
UN Habitat Office will focus on the cities and communities that are vulnerable to climate change impact. Therefore, I may underscore the outstanding work by Montreal International around this, and that's the city where the UN Habitat Office will be hosted.
Collaboration in this type of file. The outcome of this agreement is the result of teamwork among the partners who are standing before you this afternoon. Donc, je vais m'arrêter ici en terminant pour vous dire.
Let me stop here and say that I'm really looking forward to having the inauguration of the offices at Montreal here in 2023. Thank you.
J'invite.
Thank you, Ms. Saint-Onge. Let me now invite Ms. Martine Biro, Minister for International Relations and Francophonie, also in charge of Women's Affairs. Thank you, Minister Pascal Saint-Onge, and thank you to all the people invited here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really proud today because this is a great news, and it is also my very first announcement as Minister for International Relations and Francophonie. I may say that today's announcement is really a major announcement in the midst of COP15, while we are meeting here at COP15 to confirm that there will be a UN office of a UN program here at Montreal. UN Habitat is joining a very rich ecosystem made of international organizations, and that really means a lot. It's the sixth UN office at Montreal, and it is also the future, because with UN Habitat we are now deep diving into the future. This is an international program that will be focused on sustainable urbanization to create not the cities of tomorrow, but the cities of today, those that are resilient, green, and environment friendly, those that focus on science and nature to develop strong actions. We have a key role in artificial intelligence. This office will work with around 350 innovative companies that already work in the city, and that's another element that adds to Quebec's capacities and focus on artificial intelligence and environment. So that's a great risk. And on top of this, the office will also work hand in hand with the universities and the research centers. There is thus a new organization that is now being established here, that is positive for us, for its global um, shining, and along with all the green economic development that goes hand in hand with this new information. Let me also refer to all the partners that enabled this arrival of UN Habitat here, the city of Montreal, Valérie Planck, who worked a lot, as well as Stéphane. And this is a major team work. So welcome to UN Habitat here at Quebec. Thank you, dear Minister. It's now up to Mr. Luc Rabouin, member of the Executive Committee of the City of Montreal and responsible or in charge of the economic development. You have the floor. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. In fact, the installation of UN Habitat offices at Montreal in the midst of the COP on biodiversity is really a great news for Montreal. And we will host the offices of UN Habitat here, and which confirms once more our leadership on sustainable development, resilience, and environmental transition. Montreal shares a common vision with UN Habitat, the adaptation of our urban land and territory to climate change and territorial development. All the experts understand and claim that there will be a growth in urban population in the coming years, already 10% to them. This will continue, so we need to prepare the ground for this, and this must be done in a smart manner in due respect of the natural ecosystems and biodiversity. In this way, we will have living spaces that will make our cities more resilient to climate change. UN Habitat selected Montreal due to its scientific grounds, its artificial intelligence, and this is how we could attract this UN Habitat office at Montreal in collaboration with academia and research centers, top-notch research center recognized globally, along with other international organizations that are already present in Montreal. Montreal is, by the way, the company that has more UN agencies and the biggest one in North America. Montreal is really a place of choice for organizations coming from everywhere in the world. So we are very proud and happy to receive your office at Montreal in the midst of COP15. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Rabia. Let me now invite Mr. Stéphane Paquette. Thank you, France. Ladies and gentlemen, dear Minister, hello, everyone. I'm not going to repeat what has been said. However, let me highlight a few elements. Firstly, we are very, very proud to have UN Habitat with us here at Montreal. It's the 6th UN office here at Montreal. And just to give you an idea, the last time that we opened a UN office at Montreal, it was 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago, with the UN Statistical Office. Montrealers like Pierre Bourque at the time was still a mayor of Montreal City, so that gives you an idea of where it goes back to in the past. And as highlighted by Luc, Montreal is the city of international organizations in Canada, but there are not enough Montrealers who are aware of this. After New York and Washington, Montreal is the city where there is the highest number of international organizations in the Americas. In fact, more than 90% of the employment provided by public international organizations in Canada are based here at Montreal. So there is not much competition. And Ms. Sharif, you will definitely find at Montreal an ecosystem including more than 70 international organizations that will be here to work with you. And with you, the international organizations, but also along with academia, the world of business. So our work, as we know, is not over yet. Today is really a momentum because it's the announcement is in the next weeks, the next quarters. You can be certain that will back you to support you with the public partners, those people who believed in this project. 2.5 years ago, the first time we met, the people from UN Habitat, the people I referred to said, please go ahead because Montreal is a place of choice and we are very happy with this. Thank you. Thank you, Stéphane.
The main speaker to say a few words on behalf of UN Habitat. Madame Sharif, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Shana. Merci beaucoup. That's the only things I know. Thank you so much, honorable ministers, colleagues at the Montreal International, media friends and media. Thank you so much. I would like to thank the Government of Canada for this establishment of the UN Habitat Program Office Global Program on Green, Resilient and Sustainable Cities. This office will be the UN Habitat Program Office on Green, Resilient and Sustainable Cities is to mobilize new science, research and innovations to provide support to cities and communities that are highly vulnerable to the effect of climate change. And now today we are talking about biodiversities, including coastal marginalized, the vulnerable population in informal settlements, indigenous communities and communities in small island development state and the Arctic region. There are 5 thematic priorities which will include infrastructure resilience. Second, urban planning and design. Third is finance for resilience. Fourth is capacity development. And fifth is advancing and applying artificial intelligence. So the objective of this Montreal Program Office is to promoting co-creation of and access to actionable knowledge, creating a multidisciplinary solution platform to develop urban resilience systems thinking, in particular infrastructure resilience, example, building construction codes and regulation, land use management, and facilitating new partnership and approaches to financing to upscale climate action and resilient intervention. The program will also incorporate a cross-cutting lens, focusing on gender equality, human rights, and social cohesion and social inclusion. You will build upon nature-based solutions and technologies developed by indigenous communities over many centuries. As you know, that is UN Habitat returns back to Canada because it's established through the Habitat 1 conference in Vancouver, Canada in 1977. And UN Habitat will be celebrating 45th anniversary since its establishment in Nairobi, Kenya next year. And we are looking forward to align its normative and operational portfolio with the Montreal Program Office and its global program on green, resilient, and sustainable cities. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madame Sharif. We couldn't be happier to have you with us in Montreal. On va donc procéder à la période de questions destinée aux représentants.
Now we have the questions and answers and the questions from the representatives from the media. The press attaché now has the floor. So we'll now have the questions from the media. There will be some microphones that will be distributed to the members of the media in the room. If you have any question for our representatives, I invite all the media who have questions to introduce themselves and clearly indicate or mention to whom their question is addressed. We'll start in French and then in English. Hello, Jean Corriveau. Firstly, I would like to know how many employees will work in this office. Can someone give me this information? Miss.
Yeah, we will be start in 2023. We hope 25. Yeah, 20 for over 5 years. Yeah, 28. Yeah, at least 28 for over 5 years. That's what we are targeting. Yeah, thank you.
Donc,
the investment is focused on 5 years. after this, there would be a minimum of 28 employment, 28 jobs at Montreal. Any other question in French? If there's no question in French, let's now move to the questions in English.
C'est ce qui complète la période de questions. Merci beaucoup.
This then finalizes the questions. And this is the end of the press conference, then, which can be followed by individual interviews. Thanks for being with us.